This should be one of the closest places to Natlan in all of Sumeru. There's the barrier Nicole and Nefer mentioned. It completely cuts this nation off from the others. But why? Why separate you from the rest of the world now, specifically? And if I'm not mistaken, Irminsul was polluted once before, wasn't it?
Warum soll er das jetzt wieder nicht denken? Das verstehe ich nicht.
Good question. I'm wondering the same thing myself.
That voice. Mawika! You got here pretty quickly.
Hello, traveler. It's been a while.
Hello there.
Hello, Dendro Archon.
Mawika, I apologize for asking you to meet at the border on such short notice. I also apologize for not being able to greet you in person. The form in which you see me now is one carried by the traveler. The real me is inside the mausoleum of King Deshret, and I am reaching out to you with my mind from here. Irminsul has been infiltrated by the Doctor. We must be on our guard, as he can spy on information in the world from within the tree. Fortunately, there is no record of the traveler in Irminsul, and you are still within Natlan's borders.
My records will be preserved in the Night Kingdom, rather than the ley lines. As long as the Night Kingdom remains disconnected from the ley line cycle, the Doctor has no way of knowing my movements.
Exactly.
So by meeting each other in this way, the meeting essentially never happened. No wonder Paimon didn't come. You were concerned that her activity would be recorded by Irminsul. The Natlanese have heard about the situation in Sumeru. With the borders sealed off, merchants have been forced to stop their shipments. It's pretty serious, and you're the ones bearing the brunt of it.
I'd like to address the question you raised at the beginning. I can offer a brief explanation, although it will sound rather cruel. I don't reach this conclusion gladly, but Irminsul predates the heavenly principles. It existed long ago, when the dragons of Natlan were at the height of their power. So even when the people of Sumeru became ill because of pollution, it was not a critical issue from the perspective of Irminsul itself. As long as it continues to function normally, the barrier will not be activated. But this time, the Doctor's invasion has directly affected the tree. That is what caused the barrier to deploy. The heavenly principles established a rule that when Irminsul is plunged into grave danger, a portion of power will be reserved to isolate Sumeru. That way, even if Sumeru is destroyed, the outside world at least has some time to catch its breath.
We'd certainly need it.
The heavenly principles created almost everything that exists in Teyvat today. To them, preserving the existence of the world and its inhabitants takes priority over protecting Sumeru.
Meaning, protecting Sumeru now falls to you.
Yes. My own power may be limited, especially compared to yours. But that doesn't mean that we're just gonna sit around and wait for the end. If necessary, I will utilize any and every means at my disposal.
Nicole of the Hexen Circle didn't say exactly what this meeting was about. But after hearing everything you've said so far, I think I can guess where this is going.
That's right. Nahida and I discussed it at length. We both know how presumptuous this is, but...
You need the pyronosis, don't you?
Yes, you guessed correctly. Originally, I only intended to borrow it, but the situation is far graver than I foresaw. So instead, what I ask of you is to please give the pyronosis to Sumeru.
Why do you sound so nervous? There's no need to be shy.
Surely a gnosis is pretty important to a god.
I guess, but it's not as if losing it would suddenly render us powerless. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. With all the nations you've traveled to, and all the gods you've met, you must have realized that by now. As far as I'm concerned, a gnosis is basically an elemental energy enhancer. But I don't usually use it. You know me. I like to think I'm pretty strong without it.
Yeah, not about to dispute that.
So you see, you don't need to sweat it. Here, take the pyronosis.
Huh? Just like that?
Uh-huh, just like that. To tell the truth, I've always toyed with the idea of giving it to someone who needs it more than I do. I know you accompanied Nahida here to try and increase the chance of success. It's a good thing you did, because your involvement is one of the main reasons you've managed to persuade me.
Are you sure about this? Handing over your gnosis just because of me?
I won't try to quantify it, but trust me. Handing over the gnosis to Tumaini is far from the craziest idea I could think of. Besides, even if you hadn't come here personally, I think I still would have agreed to Nahida's request. Irminsul doesn't just affect Sumeru. It impacts all of Teyvat. I know all too well how difficult it can be to protect the things you care about. So logically, morally, or however you want to cut it, helping you is the right thing to do. You don't need to tell me the specifics of your plan. Where the gnosis is involved, the tighter the secrecy, the higher your chances of success.
Malika, my heartfelt thanks go to you and the people of Naplan.
Don't mention it. But now for the hard part. How do I actually give it to you? The Irminsul barrier is right in the way.
I have an idea.
Just as I thought.
Incredible. What did you do?
Just made a lucky guess. This seems to happen quite a lot. Things that apply to everyone else don't seem to apply to me. I figured the same might be true here.
Irminsul usually produces effects based on the records it holds. Since the Traveler is a descender, Irminsul contains no records of him, and thus has no way to impede him.
Is that right? You really are full of surprises. Catch.
Whoa! Thank you, Mawika. Thank you for trusting us with something so important.
All right. No need to get so formal. It's not like we're strangers. Besides, there's still one problem. You might be able to pass through the barrier, but I don't know about the gnosis. Any other surprises for us, Traveler?
Let me try something. I have the pyronosis in my hand. It feels strangely ordinary. Not particularly heavy, and yet, this tiny thing symbolizes the mighty authority of a god. My memories of Pyro. My memories of journeying through Natlan. Those important experiences I've had.
The gnosis disappeared. Traveler, are you alright?
I'm fine. The pyronosis disappeared into my body. Just like phlogiston.
Maybe it resonates with you because you've mastered the power of phlogiston. You might not be recorded in the ley lines, but you're still our Tumaini.
Whew.
Please allow me to express my gratitude once again, Malika.
Pleasure. Well, I've given you all the help I can. The rest is up to you. Good luck.
We won't let you down.
Yeah, we aren't about to lose.
Traveler, Paimon, how are you feeling?
Paimon's a teensy bit nervous, but only a teeny tiny bit. Seems like she's gotten way braver over the last few years, huh?
Of course. After all the adventures you've had with the Traveler, I'm sure you've gained a lot of experience and grown as a person.
I'm doing alright. What about you, Nahida? How are you holding up?
With the negative effects of Irminsul, I'm a bit like a piece of fruit that's been burrowed into by hungry insects and left to rot. I'd be lying if I said it was nothing. But please don't worry. We all know what we're getting into, and we've prepared as well as we can. I believe in everyone. I believe in you. And I believe in myself. Stoking the fire inside oneself is certainly one way to live, but knowing when to rely on one's companions is also a form of great wisdom. I've been quietly learning little things from everyone, like plucking tufts of fur from a sumpter beast.
Me too. With the constant traveling, I'm always learning and growing. That's the journey of life.
I think there's someone else here who would share that sentiment.
Don't worry about what I think. I was just passing by and happened to overhear your conversation.
What are you talking about, Hat Guy? This is the top floor. No one passes by the top floor.
Says who?
I feel a little more relaxed now.
It shows that you feel comfortable laying down your burdens in our presence. It means that Sumeru is a place you can trust, where you know we have your back. And we feel exactly the same way around you. That's what it means to be friends. Counting down. 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready? Ready.
In the past, when people sought knowledge, they turned to the Tree of Wisdom. Today, we use it to save Sumeru and the whole world. These boughs that nurtured learning must not become tools for destroying the world.
Stop.
Please stop. End this transformation.
You would shut down Irminsul just to stop me? You fools. I have all the time in the world.
We haven't heard a single word from our spy in the desert. I'm afraid he...
Never mind.
But we spent years...
Nothing comes for free in this world, but the loss is not without its purpose. For a small price, we have wasted...
Understood.
Weighing profit against loss is a necessary part of life. In truth, I have been operating at a loss. For instance, why would a banker act as the executor of a will? If you hadn't deposited your personal belongings at Northland Bank, placed your
Is it not a little petty?
I consider sound bookkeeping.
Do not forget that you only...
Why, that's hardly a fair assessment. Managing money is not like other professions.
The information stored in the well...
How could anything possibly go wrong with such strict measures in place? The remainder of your soul was split in two, with one... Though I must say, your disdain for the other segments is quite amusing. Zandik is you, and you are Zandik. Zandik created the segments, yet you, a segment yourself, reject him.
that is, Zandik, created segments of but as constructive as it sounds. It erases my uniqueness. If each segment is equally me, then by the same token, none of them are truly me. A soul living forever in the past inevitably holds different views than he did in his later years. The same thing that completes me also restricts me. You too might ask yourself which stage of your life you want to be preserved at. The day your business failed?
Or we needn't dredge up the past.
This undesirable plan was eventually scrapped. Lesser Lord Kusanagi, and after that, I concluded that there was no more.
The other half of your soul.
And yet in the process,
I once thought your ultimate goal was to ascend to godhood. But as it turns out that
experiments take many. A suspiciously vacant seat, a new fate.
What can I say? After all your efforts, you really did uncover the world's secrets. So, is the new world you promised a lie?
No, it never was. Almost everyone faces the prospect of death. But not a single person has ever been able to I am the only one.
Clearly the dividing of your
Is that why you chose to work?
Could I call myself a Wenn?
Well then, I must say.
Why make things harder than they need to be? Exposing my true identity, showing up in the name of the original. As for why I'm here,
I'd argue that a significant... Is it not true?
Especially for a human.
Let's not pretend that...
Is it really so
Of course not.
Regrader, sir.
How strange. Well, Dottore.
They're coming.
But even so, I would say Ermin's soul is a wonderfully convenient thing on the whole. If you do manage to create a new...
I'll consider it.
What do you need me to do? Stall them?
The experiment will take time. Stall them for a...
Very well. Have you heard this story? He pleaded with the god. Many suns and moons passed. Seasons changed, and...
Are you suggesting I worship you as a god?
Certainly not the latter. That would make my life miserable indeed. Isn't it a little too early to be saying goodbye? Not that I wish to keep you from your business, of course. Very well. Let's leave the conversation there for now.
It's a trick. He's not even there.
Silence!
He disappeared. What was that? A ghost?
Curses. He was never there to be.
Enough talk! Attack!
Sumeru's General Mahamatra is quite ruthless. It's a good thing I wasn't there in person.
Your illusion held them up for a time just fine. But now that they have...
Decoy or not, what matters now?
Not imminently.
This is far enough.
Are you sure you don't need me? No need. Once the All right. Goodbye.
Now where's the interface Nahida mentioned? Come on, where's it hiding?
Found it. It's over here. We can connect to the inside of... You should be pretty familiar.
Is it the same route as last time?
For the most...
Then I should be fine.
And Paimon?
Wait! The stakes are way higher this time, right? Maybe... Huh? Why are you staring at me like that?
It's nothing.
Hey, you've grown quite a...
Well, anyway...
If we say Alhaitham's not...
She asked us to show how...
That's fair. I have learned a lot in Sumeru. Oh yeah. Did you ever come up with that ugly nickname you promised?
What? No!
Fine.
We need to go. Paimon, if you're staying, look after yourself.
Will do. Paimon's gonna link up with Tainari and Sino. You guys are the...
We will be.
Initiating connection.
I think we've made it to relative safety.
Goodness. That was tough.
You doing okay?
I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Take a short rest, and then...
Nicole? Nicole!
The connection's been cut. But that means...
Look at you supporting one another. How very touching.
Dottore!
Took you long enough to find us. You're more useless than I thought.
Oh, really? I think I deserve a little more credit for my methods than that. Rather than hunting you down, I chose to let you roam freely. I indulged your presumption that I was unable to track your movements, played along with your clever little plan. Fleeing is for animals, but I rather enjoy watching you flee. Some things lose the will to run altogether as soon as you put them in a cage.
If that's true, then why did you come looking for us?
Because I wanted to observe you up close, of course. Don't misunderstand me, I'm not here for a fight. Is it so unusual that I wish to greet my old acquaintances in person? After all, it's been a while. Scaramouche. Why are you so afraid? I have done nothing unprecedented in discovering the truth. Nor did I go to any great lengths to uncover your story. You made a bold series of moves in deciding to erase yourself, and with the power of this great chronicling device called Irmin's Soul, you were able to achieve something quite remarkable. Once most people form an opinion about someone, it tends to imprison their mind. Yet you managed to erase every trace of your existence. A novel take on death indeed. However, this meant that you stood out to me all the more when I saw you in Nodcry. I didn't even have to go looking for you. Just the sight of you was enough for me to intuit the truth. For someone in my position, connecting the dots was a trivial affair. It would have been more surprising if I hadn't managed to piece it together.
You seem very pleased with yourself for figuring it out. I'm sure you'd even be more delighted to learn the full extent of your crimes.
That would hardly be necessary. Besides, isn't there something that concerns you more right now? Something that fills you with dread? Let me put your mind at ease. I have no intention whatsoever of restoring any of the records you deleted. For one thing, it would be exceptionally difficult. But more to the point, I doubt that the prospect of losing your current life is all that frightening to you. Because in your case, The cruelest twist of fate is that you'll never again have the chance to make up for any of your mistakes. Isn't it?
Dottore?
Does the prospect of death amuse you?
I could ask you the same question! I'll distract Dottore. You focus on the mission.
Got it!
For the hopes and dreams of the masses.
Open the secret door on this enchanting night. May wisdom's light eradicate ignorance and darkness, and hereby fulfill our ancient vow. Commence data extraction.
Outdated ideals and stand in the way of progress. You will pay for interfering with the grandest experiment of all time.
Good timing.
Dottore, as clever as you are, you fail to understand wisdom. Wisdom takes many forms, but the path you have chosen eschews them all.
My strength is fading!
Since you are within Irminsul, it stands to reason that any power you wield comes from it.
You're extracting the information from Irminsul just to strip me of my power.
I will find his weakness.
Introduce a new barrier, but it's nowhere near enough.
I'll hold him up. Traveler, Hat Guy, the rest is up to you.
We certainly have a knack for surprising each other, don't we?
I'm just getting started.
It's time! Say your prayers!
Stay on the offensive, but watch your back.
Finally. Time for you to die. Excited?
Time for me to die? How could I have reached this place if death was something I feared?
The last gasp struggle of a dying man is a pretty pathetic sight.
Oh, that's enough!
It's all yours. Do with it as you see fit.
you say, this world is home to some archaic things. And as you suppose, you are a formidable opponent. You have long coveted the secrets of wisdom. So now, I will demonstrate true wisdom in action. I invoke my supreme authority as the keeper of Irminsul. Commend me or condemn me, but give your verdict now!
Blessed One of Wisdom, Mahakusaladhama, are you certain that you wish to exercise your authority to destroy Irminsul? It represents both your roots and your finest accomplishments. You truly intend to abandon the very thing you have always fought for?
This is my decision. Irminsul has been corrupted beyond redemption.
Irminsul is the original tree of Teyvat. It is the means by which the heavenly principles maintains fate itself. The 7 Archons should honor and revere it, for their authority was bestowed upon them by the heavenly principles.
It is precisely because I honor and revere it that I fight for the humanity it exists to protect. Wisdom is knowing how to weigh the options and make the right decision. If you truly care about the fortunes of this world, then it is me you should seek to preserve.
Planting a seed begins the chain of cause and effect. Since you have become a great tree yourself, why should the loss of another tree be anything to fear? Till we meet again, Lord of Dendro.
The first flame. The pure, cleansing fire.
Shall we?
Where were we?
I was suggesting that you needn't perform when signing a contract.
You're only sitting here because your bank demanded an evaluation of the trustee.
So you told a story about a young scholar from a merchant family in Sumeru?
I told a compelling tale, didn't I?
The post-expulsion story is far more captivating.
The human experiments or the elixir of immortality?
The part where you die.
Ah, yes. My favorite part. The 35-year-old Segment thought of himself as Dottore, reserving the name Zandik for the original specimen. Of all the Segments, he was the most selfish. After his expulsion, Dottore searched for a new direction. He joined the Fatui, studied Elazar in great depth, secured resources. He was rather fortunate in his career. Zandik turned to Conrian technology and successfully created his segments. But this was not immortality. Even with backup segments, his body would still age. Still, thanks to Snezhnaya, Zandik found the ideal base for his experiments. Then a perfect partnership materialized at a crucial moment. The year that both parties realized they needed more time. Fortunately, Zandik succeeded. In a miraculous turn of events, he gained the extra time he needed.
I seem to recall it differently.
All right, it's true. No matter how much elixir he took, Zandik remained human and continued to age. Then, on the morning he turned 85...
Help me up! Call for help!
Surely he would be rescued, Zandik thought. But to his surprise, no one helped him. Zandik was too selfish for that.
Don't forget, you're one of us.
Yes, and we're all waiting.
Waiting for me to die.
Pantalone arrived for a meeting and happened to witness what followed. He found it unsettling.
I never said that.
But the Zandiks were unfazed. It was a rare opportunity for self-dissection.
What does all that have to do with you depositing your data at Northland Bank?
It has made me cherish my time in this world all the more.
Fair enough. So you do have a sense of self-preservation.
What do you mean?
You're hardly normal, and you don't cherish life. You just don't want to admit defeat in the limited time you have.
Even so, don't I deserve an interesting ending?
I'm counting on it.
If nothing else, I expect my funeral will be a grand affair indeed.
What a magnificent fire. In Snezhnaya, we light fires to ward off the cold. Fire, it seems, is antithetical to ideas such as cold, frozen, and unchanging.
Perhaps it has always been that way. From the beginning, fire has been used to drive away wild beasts and warm the body and mind. You could say it's a form of treatment. One that cures the human heart of mortal fear.
Mortal fear? Something you haven't been acquainted with in a long time, by the sounds of it.
Whereas you, I'm sure, must know the feeling quite well indeed. I remember when we first discussed the elixir of immortality, you claimed that extending your lifespan was about buying more time. But was that really the truth? You fear the prospect of dying a wretched end in this world, don't you?
Of course I do. I'm only human, after all. And while you may have forgotten it, you cannot deny that you too were once human, Dottore. I do not believe that there is no such fear in your heart.
Perhaps you are right. But I abandoned it long ago and devoted myself to my experiments. I have felt no fear since.
From the very beginning, I never thought you could win this game.
But still you came, contract in hand, to honor our agreement.
Because I am a reputable partner.
And as we have discussed, experiments are about more than results alone. The process is equally important. I have come here and completed my creation, and I do not regret my decision.
I'm afraid your journey ends here.
After I die, there will be no one to make the elixir of immortality, and your remaining stock will only last a few more years. How then will you prove that you didn't perish in this incident alongside everyone else?
When I feel optimistic about market environments, I never forcibly adjust them. They have their own direction. And I myself am one such environment. I have been quite particular about many things in my life. But where the manner of my death is concerned, I choose not to be.
You make yourself sound so magnanimous.
Oh, but I am. And I hope you will be too. It may have been a long time since anyone told you this, Dottore, but I recognize that you are a truly rare talent.
Ha! I can see it. The experiment in blasphemy that I've been performing all this time. It has been a long process, and I do not care about the results as much as people might imagine.
If the very goal of your experiment was to explore infinite possibilities, then there was never any reason for it to end.
Indeed. Yet now, the experiment has officially drawn to a close.
What should I call you? Zandik? Or do you prefer Dottore?
Suit yourself. Goodbye, Feofan. This time, that's what it truly is.
And don't I know it? Goodbye, Zandik.
I could have carried out many more experiments, but to me, Lord of Dendro, this outcome is certainly not the worst.
I believe you. But unfortunately, this is where it all ends for you. This experiment does not belong to you, nor do any of the results.
Experiment? It sounds like you're trying to outdo me in my own field.
Wisdom is conveying information in terms that people can clearly understand. You know exactly what I mean.
Indeed. I can see no further outcomes. Ha. You have a formidable mind, and you are braver than I thought. Setting fire to the very thing your survival depends on. Your previous threat was empty, but this time, it is real.
When necessary, wisdom can be as fierce as an inferno. Some of the flames that incinerate you come from within yourself.
Perhaps you are right. You see what lies at the bottom of the human heart, and that is your wisdom.
Here is where your journey comes to an end. All that is yet unknown belongs to those of us who will carry on living.
It seems I have unwittingly been your arch-enemy all along. But now, it's all over.
I do not deny your intelligence. But what you refer to as experiments, I would never describe in those terms. They are events that take place in the real world, and they are so much more than mere data. Goodbye. We will never meet again.